everyone. Today I'm going to be touring some dream addresses to get some inspiration for my autumn core island Honeywood. I recently found all the islands we'll be touring today on Pinterest, so I hope you guys like them as much as I think you will. Alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The first island we'll be visiting today is called Walnut. Before we start exploring the island, I would really like to take a look at their map first so I can see how they planned the layout of their island as well as their villagers list, which might help me pick my dreamies for Honeywood. Just by looking at their map, I would say that they have done a very beautiful job with their terraforming and their waterscaping. I definitely feel like this island will lean more towards the natural side of the autumn core theme rather than having a suburban feel. As for their villager list, I was thinking about Patty, Teddy, Olive, and Butch, but I'm not sure if those will make it to my dreamy list or not. Okay, now that I'm done looking at the map, let's go ahead and start exploring the island. Right off the bat, I can definitely say I really like the paths that they chose. To me, the dirt path, the cobblestone, and the wooden planks really complement each other. To the right of the airport, between these two houses, you'll find a pretty cute little nursery. And I really like how they included the plant start item with the soil bags and the greenhouse that's in the corner. The first thing you see when you exit the airport is this cute sitting area that they have directly in front of it. Even though it's a really small area, it looks really nice to me just because of the items that they use. I personally like that they placed the cotton candy on the bench and that they added the tiny library. If you walk a little farther up, you'll find this ice cream / frozen treat shop, as well as a little sitting area where villagers can enjoy their ice cream cones. When you get to the lower right corner of the island, you'll find this little camp out area, which I think is absolutely adorable. From the book and the cutting board that they added, it looks like they were decorating it as if someone was cooking from the fish that they just caught. Sometimes it can be difficult to decorate areas that are close to the beach, so I think this was really nicely done. A little farther into the island and you come across this very cute seaside cottage. Again, I think it is decorated very adorably. I personally like how they chose to block off the yard with the hedges. I think it really helps to separate the yard from the beach. I also really like how they added the patch of sand underneath the sand castle. The next yard that I came to was very simple, but I thought it was super effective how they decorated it. They added basic things that you might see around a normal house by adding the little touches like the wood logs and the pondstone. I think really steps it up a little bit. I also came across this little area that they decorated with a picnic. When you get to the back of the island, you come across this wheat field where they also sell bread. I really like the white shopping baskets that they added, as well as the tip jar next to the register. As I was walking down from the wheat field / bakery area, I found probably one of my favorite builds on the island. It was this very cute bakery and cafe section. I just really liked the layout of the area. Plus I love the dirty dish set that they added next to the oven, as well as the cooking set that they have on the table. On the other side of the bakery was the cafe section that had a cute stand where you could get coffee and milk, as well as a few table and chairs where you could sit down and drink your coffee at. I personally really like this tablecloth and skirt tables, so I definitely will be looking for those items for my island. They also use these cliff custom designs, which I think just added a little bit more depth to the whole area. Right before you get to the secret beach, you'll come across this apple stand where you can buy apples as well as apple cider. I like that they added the scale in the build because I think it really adds to the whole idea of you weighing your own apples. And right behind that is the secret beach where they very simply but nicely decorated it by adding some plants, a candle, and a place to lay down at. They created a very nice relaxing space. When you get to Nook's Cranny, you see this van next to it that looks like it's selling grapes and maybe some wine or champagne. And for Nook's Cranny itself, it's super simple, but I honestly really like how it's decorated, just with the natural foliage as well as boxes, garbage cans, and garbage bags. The same thing with the Able sisters. It's very simple, but I like how they decorated it. Then I found this pretty cool area that they had decorated to look like a mine. I think it's a really cool forced perspective build. At another villager house, you'll find a mushroom stand as well as a mushroom garden. I really like how they added a book next to the mushroom garden because it makes it look like the villager is learning about mushrooms. When you're on the left side of the island, you'll come across this very cute bakery. This is probably my second favorite build that's on the island. I just think they did a very good job decorating it with the use of the signs as well as the little cake that they added on the stool. And the stone table and stools that they added just gives the whole area a very natural feel. Another really nicely done build is this abandoned courtyard area that they created. I really like how they customized the castle walls and that they added all of the wheat fields around the fountain. I absolutely love that they put their campsite on the peninsula. It's a super small space to work with, but I think they did a really good job. They kept to a very minimal design, but they added things you would see at a real campsite. Plus, I think that the little sandcastle you can see on the beach right there is super cute too. To fit along with the abandoned courtyard, they also have this very interesting looking cafe. I personally really like the bistro tables, and I think that adding the shopping bag next to a table and chair is a really good touch. I also found this pumpkin carving area along with a pumpkin patch that I thought was super adorable. I really like how they customized the cutting boards and that they put a pumpkin right there next to them. And they also have this well and sitting area next to the pumpkin patch, which I think is super cute because it gives me wishing well vibes. Okay, I think that's all for Walnut. I really enjoyed it, but we are gonna go ahead and go to the next island, which is called Cozy Cove. First things first, we're going to check the map before we go and explore. From looking at the map, I feel like this island has more of a structured feel because it has less terraforming and waterscaping. I can see that they added a neighborhood up in the right corner of the island, so I feel like this island will have more of a suburban feel than the natural feel. From their villager list, I'm only really interested in Blair or Rudy. I'm not too sure about Rudy though because he's a jock and jocks are definitely not my favorite. Okay, now that we have checked them out, we can go ahead and start looking around. Right off the bat, you'll find a lot of presents that the creator left for you, which I think is super sweet. I always really enjoy getting to change into a different outfit when I go and explore Dream Islands. I really like that they've decorated their entrance with the lampposts and some benches as well as a little suitcase to make it look like someone's waiting for their plane. I also thought the use of the beanstalk was pretty cool because I don't really see that often. Not too far away from the airport, you'll find this post office build. I also really like this simply because of the items that they used. I just feel like it has this really cozy vibe. If you go to the beaches on the left side of the island, you'll come across this very adorable painting area. I absolutely love how they decorated this, especially since they added it on the beach. I think that is a very good use of space. And directly beside that, you'll find a slightly overgrown soccer area. If you walk farther down on the beaches, you'll come across this dock area where it has everything from fishing supplies, boats, fishing tanks, and even a vending machine. So probably just a lot of stuff that you would actually see in a dock/fishing market area. If you go a little farther up, you'll come across this apple orchard that also has a stand that sells apple pies, apple jam, and even like apple juice. I really like how they made the umbrellas look like bushels of apples as well as added the wheel cart and the bags of soil. Farther up from the orchard and you'll come across again another little cafe area. I think those honestly are probably one of my favorite builds. This one, I really like how they set it up with the use of the bistro tables as well as the cash register and the sign at the very front of the entrance. I also like how they added all the little touches on the counter to make it look like people are really sitting there. And again, I really like that they added the fairy lights because it makes this build look really cute at night. If you walk farther down the road, you'll come across this pie stand that also has a mini orchard right behind it. Abel's was decorated very simply, but I really liked it because of the layering that they added with the use of the two clotheslines and the little wash tub. I also really like how they decorated Nook's Cranny with the truck and its lights on, looking like it's unloading something. The ABD and the stand also give really nice touches too. When you get to the beaches on the left side of the island, you find this really nice sketching area that they set up with the model being a statue, and they added the plain custom design easels as an actual drawing easel. Farther down on one of the rocks, you can see that they added a little lookout area, and farther from that, you'll find this very adorable pottery section. I personally like how they layered the picnic rugs on top of each other and just layered all the pieces together. I think it makes it a really nice build. The beaches have probably been one of my favorite areas of this island so far. Again, on another beach, I found a very cute picnic that had some pillows, books, and some food. I really like where they placed their campsite at. They made it to where you had to walk through this narrow corridor and up an incline. Then the actual campsite itself was very nicely decorated too, with the use of basically anything that you would see at an actual campsite. I really like that they added the campfire that had the pot over it and all of the other little touches. Their neighborhood was very interesting to me because they gave every single villager a completely different yard, so I'm assuming they based it off of personality. Some had mushroom gardens, little sit down areas, bee farms with honey. My favorite one had to be the flower shop, where they had tulips growing outside, the little greenhouse in the back, and a bunch of flower beds. When you get to the back of the island, you come across this farm area. To your left, you'll find a wheat field that has horses grazing in it. And if you keep walking, you'll find a little eating area. They decorated it to look very festive for the fall season. And by the main player's house, you'll see a chicken coop along with a tractor, and the entire area is covered by crops. I think that's all for Cozy Cove, so we're gonna go ahead and go visit our last island, which is called Dewdrop. Just like the previous two islands, I'm going to check the map before we start exploring. I would say this map is super simple, but I really am curious to find out what the in-game pathing is in the top right corner. For their villager list, I'm interested in Kiki, Billy, and Wart Jr. I think any of those three would be really cute on my island. Just like the last creator, this one has also left us a bunch of gifts, so we're gonna go ahead and pick them all up and get changed. Directly to the right of the plaza, you'll find this post office area. I think it's really cute with the boxes that they added all over. If you walk down from the post office, you'll find this cute little festive area. It looks like they could be selling some seasonal goodies like cupcakes and pies. Overall, I think they did a really good job decorating this area. I think it looks super festive and it really fits the fall theme. You'll find their peninsula, which is very adorably decorated with a picnic. It's such a small area, but I think it was really used nicely. Once you get to Nook's Cranny, you'll see a cute shopping cart sitting out front, as well as some bike rentals right next door, and then some of their supplies next to the other side. I think it's super simple, but I really like it because it makes it feel more realistic. They also added this cute well and bucket combo at the back of the store, and I just think it's really adorable. A little farther down and you'll find the Able sisters. Again, this is super simply decorated. You'll also find this cafe nearby. I think it's really cute the way they set it up. It really looks like someone has been sitting there enjoying their meals or their drinks. When going to or from the airport, you're greeted by this really beautiful lush forest that they have put around the area, as well as a few waterfalls. It gives the whole area a really nice ambience. Then right by the airport exit, you'll find a little sitting area that also has someone's suitcase and drop ticket right next to it. I personally really like the little ticket touch. I think that's super adorable. On the other side of the airport, you'll see this sign that leads you to the campsite. It's very simple in design, but I think it really gets the job done. I love how they have added the shopping bag next to the stove with the skillet, as well as some marshmallows being roasted over a pile of leaves. They've also added a little sitting area on the beach where everyone can sit around the fire pit and listen to music from the little ukulele. On the other side of the campsite, you'll find another tent that's set up. They added a bunch of little touches to make it look like someone has really been camping out there, and they even added a bow and fishing rod holder on the beach. As you get closer to houses, you come across this well that has a clothesline in the back, as well as a wash tub and even a little drop coin. One of the little neighborhood areas has a cute little bee farm where they sell honey, as well as a pumpkin carving table. I really like how they added all the knives and the actual jack-o'-lantern to look like someone's just recently carved a pumpkin. They also have a mini vegetable garden where they added the harvest baskets to look like people have been picking the vegetables recently. And they even added a wheat field in the back where a tractor looks like it's baling hay. And as you enter and exit the area, you'll find this small pond with some stepping stones in it too. I found this really adorable picnic area kind of hidden between these trees. They added some food items, some books, and some comfy pillows to sit on. When you get closer to the back of the island, you come across the apple orchard. At the entrance, you'll see a stand where you can weigh and pay for your apples, and then you can go in and pick all the apples yourself. It's super cute because they added a bunch of fallen apples on the ground, buckets, and ladders. It really makes the whole orchard feel very realistic. This is probably one of my favorite areas on the island so far. And as you walk farther back, you'll get closer to this sign that says beware of beasts. That actually leads you to the secret beach, which is a hidden pirate hideout. On the adjacent beach, you'll find a fish market where it looks like you can purchase pretty much any type of fish that you could think of. I definitely think it's a really cute way to decorate some of your beaches. I also found this really adorable yard. I personally think that this section would look really cute at night because of the fairy lights. One of my favorite yards of the island was this outside movie theater where they added a projector screen outside and layered a bunch of picnic blankets. I also found this hidden area that really gave me tea party vibes. Farther up and you'll find a villager home that has a bread stand outside where you can purchase the bread that is freshly made in the wood burning oven that's behind the stand. I also really like how they decorated the outside of the main player's house and they added a little pond behind it. I think it's a really nice use of space at the back of the island. Near the house you'll find another small picnic area. Then when you come to the area of the in-game path that shows on the map, you'll see that that's actually a corn maze. When you first walk into the entrance, you'll see to your left that you can pick your own pumpkin in the pumpkin patch. You can also take a photo at one of the standees that they have, and then when you go farther back you can go through their corn maze. I definitely think I'll be adding something like this to my island. To get to their museum, you go through this nicely forested area and then you come to a really cool research place that they have added on the rocks. I definitely think they chose a nice collection of items to decorate this area, and I feel like it really makes their island unique because I've never seen something like this before. Now that we're finished exploring all 3 islands, we're gonna go and head back to my island. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hoped seeing these islands gave you as much inspiration as it did give me. I definitely enjoyed seeing all the different things that people built. If you want to explore these islands on your own, I will have the dream addresses linked down below. And if I can find any of the creators' social media, I will also link those as well. Again, thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!